Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Jordan here, and in today's video Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. First things first, don't pay attention to this wall. Don't. I'm still working on it. I was trying out some different colors. It's just, we gonna ignore that. Just let me see if I can hide it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. But anyway, maybe next time y'all see my wall, it'll be fully done. But anyway, I am here to share with you guys some of the information about my office space. I think I mentioned in the first entrepreneurship series video, the office space empty tour, whatever video, that I was going to share with you guys some information about where I got this office, or how I came across this office space, how much it costs, the logistics, all that good stuff. Woo! All right, where's my got a drink. It's not that type of drink, y'all. I don't drink alcohol. It's some ginger ale. All right, so as I was searching for office space, so I'm in Georgia. I came from Texas. I lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. I was running my business out of my apartment, trying to make it do what it do. I was doing okay for a while. Then I kind of just got very unmotivated, like very, very, very unmotivated. I just was like, I don't want to do anything. So I decided once I was moving to Florida that I was going to not Florida, girl. I left Florida and went to Texas. Now I'm leaving Texas and I am in Georgia. Okay, when I decided I was leaving and coming to Georgia, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put everything on hold. My website is still up and running. However, most things on there, if not all, besides like the digital products, all say sold out. Yeah, I didn't want to just completely cut the website off. Maybe I was going to get motivated to start again, but I didn't. Anyway, came from that. I was working out of one room in my apartment, and it just wasn't enough space. I was just unmotivated. I just needed to be out and about and not in that space. So I came to Georgia. Before I got here, me and my cousin talked. She also has a business. I'll leave her business link down below. She is a phlebotomist. She can certify you to become a phlebotomist if you want to be one. She also does mobile blood draws, so she can come to your house if you or somebody in your family, you know, you got an elderly cousin or a grandmama or somebody who needs their blood drawn. She can come do it at your house, send your labs off to whoever needs to get sent off to. You ain't got to leave your house. So anybody in Atlanta, Conyers, Snellville, Atlanta and surrounding area, she got you. So I'll leave her information link down below, or I'll leave the website. You guys can go on there and find what you find. Yeah. So she and I both were talking about just office spaces or whatever. At one point I was going to use her basement, but there's some things under there that need to get fixed, and I didn't feel like having to be cautious of where I was moving around and doing things. So I was like, ixnay, let's just go ahead and rent this office space out. I wanted to spend the least amount of money as possible, but then I also told myself that, you know what, let me just set my budget at what my rent pretty much was. I was paying, like, with water and stuff, it was probably like 14 something. So I set my budget at $1,500. It was like 11, but then I was realizing, girl, for what you want, you're not getting that for $1,100. Or I probably could have, but just not all inclusive. So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, a whole bunch of YouTube videos on just like, not necessarily about Georgia, but just in general, a bunch of videos on just office spaces, where, like, just watching YouTube, office space tours and warehouse tours and stuff like that, just to kind of see, people's layouts and what they had and what they didn't have and what I thought I might want or what I might need, situations like that. I watched a bunch. People don't really say where they are. So I mean, people say Atlanta, but Atlanta's, most of the time you're not in Atlanta. So some people were like I feel like the best places that I saw for like the best places that were like flex spaces that come with offices and warehouses and all that stuff, big spaces, and that were also like decent prices. They were in like towns like freaking Beaumont and or like in Oregon or those type of states. They weren't in these big cities, which I'm not feeling. Yeah, so I watched, like I said, a couple of YouTubers. And one of the last ones that I saw before I got to Georgia was Kayla, what is her, let me get on YouTube right now, Young Lady Business. So she started I started watching her a while ago when she was looking for houses. I think she was looking at like mobile homes or something, and I followed her journey a little bit, and she just recently started a home decor business line or something like that. I'll leave her information link down below as well for that video. But yeah, she started a home decor business. If y'all see me looking over here to the side, because I'm technically still at work right now, y'all. So I'm just logging back in because the lunch break is over. Yeah, so she launched her home decor line called, it's called this. This is what it's called. Oh, never mind. It's called Sweet Masonry. So she launched that. So I'll put her YouTube channel down below. So you guys can check out her videos and stuff like that. I'll put the video of her office space tour, login, whatever, that vlog. I'll put that down below so you guys can see what I was looking at. So I saw that space and I'm just like, oh, you know what? You know, that might be enough space. I can kind of make that work. I can use the office space kind of like as my product room where I make everything and store everything. Or not make everything, that's where I'll store everything once it's done. So, you know, as a lock, you can lock it up. And then like the little lounge outside area, that'll be where I make everything. So it wouldn't really be somewhere that somebody can come and sit down and hang out at. It'd be more so like you come in there, you gonna have all the smells and work and stuff like that. So yeah, she was one of the people whose videos that I had watched, and I was just like, okay, I know she was in Atlanta somewhere. So I was like, oh, let me reach out and see where she found it. So I believe she said she found it on, it wasn't XGHCE, LoopNet. LoopNet is where she found hers. LoopNet, I had been looking at LoopNet for quite some time, but LoopNet, they like the size for stuff that I wanted, they didn't really have. They had a lot of like 150 to 200 square foot like apartment or offices for rent, and they also had like 7,000 square foot warehouses for rent. But that happy medium of between 600 and 1,200 square feet, they weren't showing a lot of those. And I'm just like, bruh, I don't need 7,000 square feet, not yet. We're gonna put that out in the atmosphere that I'm gonna need that one day, but I'm not quite there yet. So I kept looking. I just kept, you know, the whole time I was there, I was looking. So like I said, they didn't have anything really the size that I wanted and the budget that I wanted. They didn't really have the size that I wanted in general, and definitely not the budget. A lot of the 1,100 or 1,200 or 1,300 square feet places, they were all like $1,700, $1,800, and they were not all inclusive. They were more like triple net, so you had to pay VAT taxes, you had to pay electricity, you had to pay all this other stuff. So at the end of the day, I'll be paying like $2,100, $2,200 to rent this space, and I was just like, I'm not feeling it. I also looked at XGHCE. XGHCE was similar, whereas though they had like a lot of the smaller spaces and then the bigger spaces, and then the mid-sized spaces, they were just way out of my budget. So I was like, oh girl. So then I thought about, okay, let's just go ahead and find an apartment. I'll rent an apartment or whatever the case may be. But unlike Texas, there wasn't a lot of apartments out here that come with storage units, or if they were, it was like a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom, and then they were like $1,700 just for a 2-bedroom. And I was like, is this Georgia? This don't seem like Georgia. This seems like Florida prices, like Miami prices. But Miami prices now are like $2,500, so they're not even Miami prices anymore. But yeah, too expensive. I wasn't going to do that. I'm like, I might as well go ahead and rent like a 3-4 bedroom house for that price for $1,700, $1,800. But at the time, I was just like, I really don't want to be in anybody else's space, because I know I want to be able to paint and do what I want to do. And when you're renting houses, sometimes they don't be wanting you to live your best life. So yeah. Okay, so anyway, I was like, let me go look at my good old best friend Craigslist, you know, because sometimes I'll go in there, I'll just look for like dresses and things like that I can refurbish, and I just was like, let me go look at Craigslist. So I logged in, I went on Craigslist, I found so many places. A lot of them though were not available yet. Some of them were like starting in November and starting this day and starting this day. And I was looking before I actually got here. So I moved to Georgia that second weekend of September, so like around the 9th or 10th. That might have been the first weekend. No, it had to be the second. Yeah, that second weekend of September is when I moved here. So I was like, I'll look when I get here, because seeing things online and seeing things in person are just not the same. So I found a few places. One place that I was interested, one place I was interested in, it was definitely smaller. It was like maybe like 700 square feet or 600 square feet, something like that. So it had like a lounge space. It was like in a little complex, I guess. It was a community. It had like, you know, front door, you walk in, have a lounge space. I think they had a bathroom. I don't know if there was a kitchenette, and then it had a separate office. So I was like, it was $750. It was, I think, maybe like 500 square feet, maybe, I don't know, but it was $750. But it was not all inclusive, so I would have to pay those taxes, like I mentioned, the internet, the water, the electricity, all that stuff. Water might have been included. So at the end, I would have been paying like $1,200, $1,300 for this space. But the guy had told me that he already had someone that was interested. This was like a Tuesday, and he said maybe by that Saturday that he would go ahead, and if the person didn't pay, then he would reach back out. He ended up calling me the very next day, But when he called me, I had already found another place. So I was just like, I thought he was giving her till Saturday, but I guess she must have called him like, never mind, I'm good. Either way, I was like, okay, because they also wanted first and last plus $1,000 security. So that would have been $2,500 to move in. Whatever. Another place I found, this one was in, was it Tucker? I want to say it was in Tucker. Because the first place was in Conyers, which is the same city that I live in. The second one that I found was in Tucker, I believe. And this one was a flex space. So it had offices and it also had a warehouse. However, the person that was subleasing it, I'm assuming, I think he just used the warehouse space for like storage. So he was renting it out to help for whatever reason. So I would be sharing the warehouse. It was a pretty big warehouse, but I would be sharing that space with another gentleman who I think he did like t-shirt printing or something. And you know, he showed me pictures of the warehouse. I think he was charging me $800. And I want to say that was all inclusive. I don't know if internet was included, but like electricity and all that stuff was included. That was like $800. But then I'm just like, okay, well, I was supposed to be doing this with my cousin. She needs office space too. I need a place separate because I have my regular job. I need to be able to work and do orders. Eventually, I'm going to get my reciprocal real estate license here in Georgia. So I also need to switch that over. I need an office space. So then he did say that he had 2 office spaces available. So if I wanted one, it would be $1,000. If I wanted both, it would be $1,200. So that's still, you know, pretty decent. So I get the 2 office spaces. Of course, there's a bathroom and a lounge area and stuff within the warehouse, and then I will share the warehouse space. So that would have been maybe about a 30-minute drive. And I was interested in it, but the guy was like out of town, so I would have to wait a week for him to come back. And then he was like, I could go see it. I guess he would call the person that was there and possibly go see it, whatever. Then, last but not least, there might have been some more in between, I don't know, but last but not least, I ended up finding this place. So, Craigslist, like I said, can be a little weary, especially when it comes to renting stuff. You don't want to sign contracts without knowing who owns what and like who really is the least person. So I came over to see this space. I got more than I thought I was getting because I was under the impression that it was 3 office spaces, a bathroom, and a kitchenette. That's what I thought I was getting. And it was $1,500 all inclusive with the exception of internet. And I was like, okay, I don't have to pay any extra taxes. I don't have to pay any electricity. I don't have to pay any water and stuff. It's already included in my $1,500 rent. So I'm like, okay, there's 3 spaces. I get my space, my cousin gets her space, and the other space I can use for making my products and stuff. I feel like that would have been a little too tight still, but I'm like, at worst case scenario, I can put in my office like shelves to hold all the products when they're actually complete and done. Before they get packaged to go out. So I'm like, I can make it work. Then like literally that same night, I'm like, can we come see it? He was like, sure. So this one is in Snellville, and it's like a less than 20-minute drive, about 17 to 20-minute drive from where I was at. So we drove over, me and my cousin came over that night around like 7 p.m. We came over to see the place, and we walked in and we see the 3 offices. It's like, okay, here's office 1, here's office 2, here's office 3. There's like this little weird hallway. We saw the kitchenette, and then there was like this pretty big size storage closet. So I was like, okay, it's cool, it's cool. Then I'm like, wait, where's the bathroom? So he's like, oh, it's around the corner. We turned the corner, it's like a U shape. So this whole side pretty much just got copied and pasted onto the other side. So now it's like, oh, there's office 4, 5, and 6. And he's like, oh, it's all of it. So all 6 offices for $1,500. And I was like, and I'm like, you know what? Because like I said, when you see some places and they'll be like, oh, 1,200 square foot or 1,500 square foot office building for rent, but they'll have offices in between. So it's like the building is 1,500 square feet, but you're renting a room that's 100 square feet or 200 square feet. You're not getting the whole thing. So I saw that it said it was 1,200, almost 1,300 square feet, but I just figured that, okay, if I'm getting 3 offices out of this, it might be somebody else on the other side, the whole building. But no, that whole 1,300 almost square feet was included in that $1,500 price. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Which, you know, some people, like, I was looking at it in a sense where I was just like, that's a great deal because I'm getting almost 1,300 square feet. That's 6 offices, a bathroom, a kitchenette, 2 big old storage spaces, as well as water and internet and taxes all included. That's great. If you ask me, I think that's great. And once I add in I had to get commercial because, you know, I was trying to keep my internet, but they wouldn't let me because it's commercial space. So once I got my commercial internet and then, of course, my business insurance included, I'm all in for 6 offices. I'm all in at like $1,625. I think that's amazing. You can't beat that. Now, all I gotta do is make sure that I stay motivated, make my products, keep pushing my business. I gotta get more consistent on YouTube because this is also part of my brand and my job, and I have not been consistent on YouTube. I kind of just did a bunch of random stuff on YouTube all of the time, but I gotta really push hard on here because we got bills to pay. Pay these bills. We gotta make sure this website stays up to date. Right now, you guys go on the website, it's not up to date because I'm relaunching, I think on the, well not I think, I'm relaunching, or we're having our grand relaunch reopening on the 29th, but more than likely I'll have the site back active before that. It is active right now, but everything pretty much just is sold out because I will be replacing a lot of items. I'm going to be updating some packaging and branding and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my spiel. That's how I found my office space. I'm so excited about it. Like I said, XGHCE and LoopNet and all those places, a lot of people found their places on there and they got lucky. Maybe it was just the timing that I was looking, but I was not very successful on those sites. But Craigslist was very successful. I just put $1,500 for October's rent, and I did $1,500 deposit. I just had to show some check stubs. He didn't really run credit or none of that stuff. Maybe because he owns the building and he actually has like an insurance company next door. My neighbors that I have within my building are super friendly. It's 2 females. One does like microblading and facials and teeth whitening and all that stuff. The other one has like her own podcast and does radio stations. She's a radio personality and stuff like that. So women empowerment. Yeah. I'm gonna leave both of their information down below. I'm gonna leave the podcast girls. I don't know her radio station. She's like reaches certain parts in this area or whatever. I don't know her stuff, but I do have her YouTube page, so I'll link her down below. And then the other girl, the one that does all the facials and all that stuff, I'll leave her information down below too, whatever information I have for them. But thank you guys for watching my video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Seriously guys, make sure y'all subscribe because I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to be showing you guys more of this move-in process. I'm going to try to get this office together. I'll probably show you guys maybe while I'm trying to get this wall together. I don't know. Making some products. I made some soaps yesterday. I made some candles yesterday. I got so much more to do. Today is the 6th and I have 23 days to get this place up and running so that when we have our little grand opening, not little, big business only, when we have our grand opening on the 29th, we have something to show. All right guys, thanks for watching and see ya.